Prime Minister Tariq Rahman distributes houses and relief materials among flood-affected people in Chattogram. Obstacles created on path of country's progress must be resisted, says Prime Minister. Prime Minister visits a coal-based power project and a deep-sea port in Matarbari of Cox's Bazar. BNP collects nomination papers for residential election. 11-party alliance will collect tomorrow. Results of SSC and equivalent examinations will be published tomorrow. Results can be found online through respective education boards and via SMS. Information and Broadcasting Minister inaugurates tree plantation campaign and tree fair in Barishal, urging everyone to plant trees for protecting environment. Talks between Oman and Iran over a new shipping route in Strait of Hormuz in progress. Tehran will open it if United States lets block it. And FIFA issues strong statement regarding attempt to insult and weaken President Infantino. Assalamu alaikum. Welcoming you all. News at 10. I'm Nazneen Khalik Zubair. Those were the headlines. Now move on to the details. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman called upon all to resist those who create obstacles on the path to improving the lives of the people. He made the call this evening while providing humanitarian assistance for the construction of houses for families affected by the recent floods and other underprivileged families at the Hathajari College ground in Chattogram. The Prime Minister said that the BNP's politics is for the welfare of the country and the betterment of its people. He said in this regard plans are being implemented one another. Tariq Rahman stated that secret groups are trying to mislead people by creating anarchies. He warned that no one would be allowed to play any more games with the fate of the people.
কিছু সংখ্যক রাজনৈতিক দল তারা বিভ্রান্তি ছড়িয়ে সেই কাজগুলোতে বাধাগ্রস্ত করার চেষ্টা করছে। প্রিয় ভাই বোনেরা, এই বিশৃঙ্খলাকারী যারা রাজপথে এসে রাজপথ বন্ধ করে দিতে চায়, যারা মানুষকে বিভ্রান্ত করতে চায়, তাদের বিরুদ্ধে কি ব্যবস্থা আমরা গ্রহণ করব, এইটি আজকে বাংলাদেশের মানুষকে সিদ্ধান্ত নিতে হবে। আর বাংলাদেশের মানুষের ভাগ্য নিয়ে ছিনিমিনি খেলতে দেওয়া যাবে না। দেশের ভাগ্য নিয়ে আর ছিনিমিনি খেলতে দেওয়া যাবে না। এখন সময় হচ্ছে দেশ গড়ার সময়। এখন সময় হচ্ছে জাতির ভাগ্য গঠনের সময়, যে আমাদের সকল রাজনৈতিক ক্ষমতার উৎস হচ্ছে বাংলাদেশের জনগণ। কাজেই জনগণের সমর্থন যেহেতু বিএনপির পক্ষে আছে, জনগণ যেহেতু বিএনপিকে সমর্থন দিয়েছে, জনগণ যেহেতু বিএনপির 31 দফাকে রায় দিয়েছে, সেই 31 দফার বাস্তবায়ন করাই হচ্ছে এখন আমাদের মূল পবিত্র দায়িত্ব। কারণ জনগণ যখন 31 দফার পক্ষে রায় দিয়ে দিয়েছে, এটি আর তখন 31 দফা বিএনপির নয়, এই 31 দফা হচ্ছে জনগণের দফা। কাজে জনগণের দফা পূরণ করার জন্য, জনগণের দফা বাস্তবায়ন করার জন্য বিএনপি সকল প্রতিবন্ধকতা মোকাবেলা করে বিএনপি সামনের দিকে দেশকে এগিয়ে নিয়ে যাবে। বিএনপি দেশের মানুষের ভাগ্যের পরিবর্তন, দেশের ভাগ্যের পরিবর্তনের জন্য কাজ করে যাবে। আমরা একটি শপথ গ্রহণ করি যে দেশের উন্নয়নের ক্ষেত্রে, দেশকে সামনে এগিয়ে নিয়ে যাওয়ার ক্ষেত্রে যারা প্রতিবন্ধকতা তৈরি করবে, দেশের মানুষের ভাগ্যের উন্নয়নের পথে যারা প্রতিবন্ধকতা তৈরি করবে, তাদেরকে আমাদের রুখে দাঁড়াতে হবে।
The function was also addressed by State Minister for Land and Chittagong Hill Tracts Affair Mir Hilaluddin. Earlier, Prime Minister Tariq Rahman handed over keys of newly built houses and relief materials to families whose homes were destroyed in the recent floods at the West Bashkhali High School and College ground in Bashkhali Upazila. Speaking on the occasion, the Prime Minister stated that the government's main goal is to improve the standard of living of the people and change the fate of the country. He said, the people of Bangladesh will no longer be misled. The people of Bangladesh will move forward. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman also informed that the government's plan for the power and energy sector over the next 10 years will be presented in the National Parliament.
বিগত স্বৈরাচার আমলে এই দেশের জ্বালানি বা বিদ্যুৎ খাতকে কয়েকটি গুটি সংখ্যক ব্যক্তির হাতে তুলে দেওয়া হয়েছিল। তাদের স্বার্থ হাসিলের জন্য বিভিন্ন পরিকল্পনা গ্রহণ করা হয়েছিল, যা এই দেশের মানুষের পক্ষে নয়। খুব স্বাভাবিকভাবে সেই জ্বালানি ব্যবস্থা বা বিদ্যুৎ ব্যবস্থা যেটি অপরিকল্পিতভাবে যেই ব্যবস্থা গুটি কয়েক মানুষকে সুবিধা দিয়েছিল, সেটি যদি জনগণের স্বার্থে সেই পরিকল্পনা করতে হয়, স্বাভাবিকভাবে কিছু সময়ের প্রয়োজন। আমরা এরই ভিতরে তার কাজে হাত দিয়েছি। ইনশাআল্লাহ সমগ্র বাংলাদেশের মানুষের সামনে আগামী 10 বছর আমাদের জ্বালানি পরিকল্পনা কি হবে, আগামী 10 বছর ইনশাআল্লাহ বাংলাদেশের বিদ্যুৎ ব্যবস্থা কি হবে, সেই প্রস্তাবনা আমরা জাতীয় সংসদে উপস্থাপন করব। যারা শান্তি শৃঙ্খলা নষ্ট করতে চায় তাদের ব্যাপারে আমাদেরকে সতর্ক থাকতে হবে। আমরা যদি দেশের সন্তানদের লেখাপড়ার ব্যবস্থা আমাদেরকে তৈরি করতে হয়, সুন্দরভাবে লেখাপড়ার ব্যবস্থা করতে হয়, স্কুল কলেজ সুন্দরভাবে তৈরি করতে হয়, তাহলে শিক্ষকদেরকে যদি ট্রেনিং দিতে হয়, ছাত্রছাত্রীদেরকে যদি নতুন করে বই দিতে হয়, এই সকল ব্যবস্থা যদি করতে হয়, তাহলে আমাদেরকে দেশের আইন শৃঙ্খলা ঠিক রাখতে হবে। একইভাবে সতর্ক থাকতে হবে আমাদেরকে, যারা বিভ্রান্ত তৈরি করতে চায় তারা যাতে কোনো সুযোগ না পায়। আসুন আজকের এই জনসভায় আমরা সেই শপথ গ্রহণ করি, সেই প্রতিজ্ঞা গ্রহণ করি যে বাংলাদেশের মানুষ আর বিভ্রান্ত হবে না, বিভ্রান্তকারীদের কোন রকম প্ররোচনায় বাংলাদেশের মানুষ।
Bashkhali. He handed over the keys to a new house to an affected family in Baharchara village, Bashkhali. He also provided the affected family with rice, essential daily necessities and ducks and chickens. Besides, the Prime Minister planted a mahogany sapling in the courtyard of the new house. Earlier in the morning, Prime Minister Tarak Rahman visited the Matarbari deep sea port and the coal-fired power plant in Moheshkhali upazila of Cox's Bazar. On his arrival at the deep sea port, the Prime Minister was briefed about the activities of the Moheshkhali Integrated Development Authority (MIDA), Executive Chairman of MIDA and Bangladesh Investment Development Authority (BIDA). Ashik Chaudhary briefed the Prime Minister. Finance Minister Amir Khosru Mahmood Chaudhary, Home Minister Salahuddin Ahmed, Minister for Power, Energy and Mineral Resources Iqbal Hassan Mahmood and State Minister Onindo Islam Omid, among others, were present. The Prime Minister later planted a sapling there. As scheduled later, Prime Minister Tarak Rahman visited the Matarbari coal-fired power plant where he was briefed on the project. After that, the Prime Minister visited the Matarbari deep sea port. Matarbari port is an under-construction seaport on the shores of Bay of Bengal, located at the Moheshkhali upazila, Cox's Bazar district, Chittagong division. Prime Minister Tarak Rahman paid a courtesy call on Allama Shah Muhibullah Babunagori, Amir of Hifazat Islam. The meeting was held this afternoon at Jamiatul Islamia Azizul Ulum Babunagar Madrasa in Futikchuri, Chattogram. Allama Muhibullah Babunagori, also the principal of Al Jamiatul Islamia Azizul Ulum Babunagar Madrasa, welcomed the Premier upon his arrival at the madrasa. After the courtesy call on, they attended brief exchange meeting. During the meeting, the Prime Minister said the people of the country are suffering the consequences for the unplanned activities carried out during the fascist regime. He said the gas crisis would be resolved within the next 5 to 7 days. Tarak Rahman said efforts are underway to take the country on the right track. He said his government wants to build Bangladesh where every citizen will have food, shelter and peace. Finance Minister Amir Khosru Mahmood Chaudhary and Home Minister Salahuddin Ahmed, among others, spoke on the occasion. Earlier, at around 3:20 p.m., the Prime Minister arrived in Fotichuri from Bashkhali by a helicopter. After the helicopter landed, Earlier, at around 3:20 p.m., the Prime Minister arrived in Fotichuri from Bashkhali by a helicopter. After the helicopter landed at Pelagaji Dighi field in Fotichuri, local leaders and activists welcomed the Prime Minister. He then travelled by road to Al Jamiatul Islamia Azizul Ulum Babunagar Madrasa. Thousands of people stood on both sides of the road to greet him. Upon reaching the madrasa, the students became excited to see Prime Minister Tariq Rahman. He also greeted them in response. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman visited the grave of the late Hifazat Islami Amir Allama Shah Ahmad Shafi Rahmatullah Alayhi. The Prime Minister arrived at the Hathajari Madrasa premises this afternoon and paid a visit to the grave of Allama Shah Ahmad Shafi. Standing beside the grave, he offered Fatiha and prayers seeking salvation for the departed soul. Finance and Planning Minister Amir Khusru Mahmud Chaudhry, Home Minister Salahuddin Ahmed, State Minister for Land and Chittagong Hill Tracts Affairs Mir Mohammad Hilaluddin, the Prime Minister's Defence Advisor Brigadier General Retired Dr. A.K.M. Shamsul Alam, the Prime Minister's Additional Press Secretary Atikur Rahman Rumon and the Principal of Al Jamiatul Aliya Darul Ulum Moinul Islam Madrasa, Maulana Khalil Ahmed Qureshi were present. After visiting the grave, the Prime Minister exchanged pleasantries with the Islamic scholars. Students present at the madrasa greeted the Prime Minister as he was leaving. Bangladesh Nationalist Party BNP's chairman and Prime Minister Tariq Rahman attended the party's organizational meeting tonight at the auditorium of the Radisson Blue Chattogram Bay View Hotel. The meeting was presided over by convener of Chattogram Metropolitan BNP Alhaj Irshadullah MP. Leaders and activists from Chattogram Metropolitan, North and South District BNP along with its front and affiliate organizations participated at the meeting. A BNP delegation collected 2 nomination forms as the Election Commission began distributing nomination papers today ahead of the presidential election. The Election Commission Senior Secretary Akhtar Ahmed told journalists this at a press briefing at the Election Commission building in Agargaon, Dhaka. He said, Chief Whip of the National Parliament Nurul Islam Moni and Senior Party Leader and Prime Minister's Political Advisor Ruhul Kabir Rizvi collected the nomination forms on behalf of the party from the Office of the Election Officer this morning. Meanwhile, the number of registered voters increased by 3,09,315 between May 14 and July 31. The country currently has a total of 12,86,32,555 registered voters. The EC Senior Secretary also said the codes of conduct for the 5 tiers of local government elections have been sent to the Ministry of Law. The results of this year's SSC and equivalent examinations will publish tomorrow. Education Minister Dr. A.N.M. Ihsanul Haq Milan will officially inaugurate the result publication at an event at the Education Ministry Conference Room at 10 a.m. At the same time, students will be able to check their results online through their educational institutions and via SMS on mobile phones. Students can check their results on the websites of their respective education boards. They can also check the results through 2 common websites, eduboardresult.gov.bd and educationboardresults.gov.bd. Students will also be able to collect their results from their respective education institutions. Results can also be obtained via SMS. For this, students need to type SSC followed by a space, the first 3 letters of their education board, another space, their roll number and the examination year. The message should then be sent to 16140. The result will be sent back to the student via SMS. A 15-day divisional tree plantation campaign and tree fair has begun in Borishal. Information and Broadcasting Minister Zahruddin Shapun formally inaugurated the fair by releasing balloons and festoons at the city's Bells Park ground today. Speaking as the chief guest at the inaugural ceremony, the minister said Bangladesh and the whole world are facing serious risks due to climate change. Urging all to be aware of fuel consumption, Shapun said if emphasis is not put on the use of environment-friendly fuel, this world will become unlivable for human in future. Reiterating the strong commitment of the incumbent government to addressing climate change and environmental protection, the minister said 5 crore saplings will be planted every year. With Borishal Divisional Commissioner Khalil Ahmed in the chair, Metropolitan Police Commissioner Abu Raihan Muhammad Saleh and Divisional Forest Officer Muhammad Rafiqul Islam spoke on the occasion, among others. Students from various schools and colleges, representatives of civil society and commoners were present at the event. After the meeting, Shapun visited 50 stalls and nurseries participating in the fair. The fair will remain open for all from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day. Bangladesh's permanent representative in United Nations and UN Ambassador Irin Khan called on Education Minister Dr. N.M. Ihsanul Haq Milan at the Secretariat today. Various government measures taken for the development of education, future planning and issues relating to UN cooperation came up for discussion during the call-on. At this time, the Education Minister stated the emphasis are being given on technical and vocational education and training TVET to turn huge population into resources under the leadership of Prime Minister Tariq Rahman. The minister called upon the UN permanent representative to extend cooperation to the initiatives for the reform of Bangladesh's education. Speaking on the occasion, Irin Khan laid emphasis on enhancing the use of information technology for the development of country's education. Students of this country are engaged in this sector successfully in various countries, she added. Director General of Secondary and Higher Secondary Education Directorate Professor Dr. Khan Moinuddin Al Mahmoud Sohel was present. State Minister for Information and Broadcasting Yasir Khan Chaudhry has said the government will support initiatives aimed at presenting accurate history. He made the remarks at a book launching ceremony held at the National Press Club in Dhaka this afternoon. Guests unveiled two pop-up books written by Sabrina Shubro titled Shohid Jiar Golpo Shono and Chotoder Priyo Khaleda Zia. Yasir Khan Chaudhry said that not enough has been done to highlight the contributions of those who helped the country achieving independence and democracy. He emphasized the importance of presenting accurate history to the younger generation. Arguments were presented before the tribunal in the case against 7 accused, including Obaidul Qadir, over crimes against humanity committed during the July uprising. The arguments began this morning at International Crimes Tribunal 2. The prosecution presented its arguments for the third consecutive day. Meanwhile, the prosecution submitted a call recording to the tribunal today, alleging that at the beginning of the July movement, Obaidul Qadir instructed the then State Minister for ICT, Junaid Ahmed Polok, to reduce internet speeds at the direction of ousted Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Earlier, the same tribunal set August 18 as the next hearing date in the crimes against humanity case concerning the killing of Imam Hassan Qaim, the son of a police officer in Kajla, Jatrabari during the July uprising. Meanwhile, testimony was heard in International Crimes Tribunal 1 against 8 accused, including then Joshua Superintendent of Police Anisur Rahman, over crimes against humanity related to the shooting of 2 student leaders in Chuadn, Joshua. Separately, the prosecution today filed an application before the tribunal seeking to show former military officer Ziaul Ahsan as arrested in the case concerning the alleged enforced disappearance of Home Minister Salahuddin Ahmed. There is still a huge crowd at the July 36 uprising Memorial Museum since it was opened to the public. Visitors of all ages have been coming to the museum. Members of martyr families have also visited to see whether any memory or belongings of their loved ones have been preserved there. As visitors enter the Chilai Museum, they are immediately reminded of the tragic days of the Mass uprising. Images of public anger, protest and resistance are displayed on the walls and floors. Through photographs, videos and various artifacts, the museum portrays the July Mass uprising as well as the repression, enforced disappearance, torture and killings during the authoritarian rule. The museum also preserves memory of the Aina Ghor detention facilities. Every photograph, film and art craft at the museum reminds visitors that power is temporary, but history remains. The memories of those who lost their lives and the anger of the people echo a strong message: never again authoritarian rule. Many visitors also express strong anger toward ousted Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. They hope this history will teach future rulers about the consequences of authoritarians and the abuse of power. Now, international.